What if one test held the key to unlocking your dream role in the Army? Welcome to the U.S. Military Test Prep channel by Study.com. My name is Dr. Steele. I'm a U.S. Army veteran and an Asvab test prep expert. Whether you're eyeing a job in infantry, logistics, or cutting-edge technology, the Armed Forces Vocational Aptitude Battery, or Asvab test, isn't just any test. It's the gateway to your Army career. In this video, I'm focusing specifically on how the Asvab impacts your placement in the Army, from understanding the scores you need for particular roles to strategies for achieving your goals. This is your go-to guide for Army-specific insights. So, if you're ready to learn how to turn that test into an opportunity, then let's jump in. When it comes to finding your Army job, officially known as your Military Occupational Specialty, or MOS, your Asvab scores are the deciding factor. In this section, we'll explore the standard scores you'll see on your Asvab results and explain how they affect your Army career options. Think of them as the keys to unlocking specific roles within the Army. Whether you're aiming for combat, technology, mechanics, or another field, your scores determine what options are available to you. Let's break it all down so you can better plan for the MOS you really want. The Asvab test is required to join the Army, but even though it's one test, it isn't just one score. It's a collection of scores based on your performance across several different subtests, and depending on whether you take the paper-based or computerized version of the Asvab, there are 9 or 10 subtests. Each subtest measures a specific skill or area of knowledge, such as math, vocabulary, or mechanics. Together, these subtests generate what are called standard scores. Your percentile rank shows how your score compares to others. For example, if you have a standard score of 50, that means you performed right at the average level of all other test takers. So if you score a 60, that means you performed above average, and if your score is a 40, you performed below average. It's that simple. At the end of the day, your goal is to perform at your very best, because the higher your standard score, the more Army jobs you'll qualify for. Your standard scores are just the beginning. After your standard scores have been established from your performance on individual Asvab subtests, those scores are then grouped together in various ways to create composite scores, also known as line scores. Each line score represents a combination of scores from various subtests, grouped into categories based on the type of work, such as combat, electronics, mechanics, or clerical. These combined scores help determine your qualifications for specific Army jobs, since each MOS has different skill requirements. For example, the clerical line score combines scores from subtests that measure verbal and math skills. The electronics line score combines standard scores from subtests that measure your mathematics knowledge, arithmetic reasoning, and knowledge in general science and electronics information. Knowing the minimum line scores for your desired MOS is critical. Each subtest you take plays a role in shaping your future MOS options. By understanding how line scores are derived and which ones are tied to your preferred job, you can focus your study efforts on the subtests that contribute to the relevant line score categories. Let's talk about the score you need to enlist in the Army and how that's calculated. Your Armed Forces Qualification Test Score, or AFQT Score, is the key to determining your basic eligibility. To join the Army, you'll need at least a score of 31. But what does that number really mean? The AFQT score is based on your performance in 4 sections of the Asvab, which are arithmetic reasoning, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and mathematics knowledge. These scores are combined, weighted, and converted into your percentile ranking. Your AFQT percentile tells you how you compare to other test takers. For example, if you score 50, you perform better than 50% of those who took the test. So a score of 31, the Army's minimum, means you outscored 31% of test takers. Your AFQT score is just the first step in starting your military career. While a score of 31 qualifies you to enlist in the Army, achieving a higher score will expand your job opportunities within the Army. A high AFQT score can lead to specialized roles like intelligence analysis, cybersecurity positions, or aviation roles where critical thinking and problem solving are essential. Those types of positions offer specialized training and experience in cutting-edge fields, so they are competitive. In essence, having a high AFQT score is like holding the key to a wide range of challenging and rewarding career paths in the Army. If your scores are lower than you hoped, don't worry. There are clear steps you can take to improve. First, identify which subtests need more attention, like the 4 subtests that make up your AFQT score. Next, use resources like study.com and other test prep materials to identify and strengthen weak areas. You'll want to dedicate some of your study efforts there. It's also a good idea to talk to a recruiter. They can help you explore roles that align with your current scores or advise on alternative pathways. If you didn't achieve your target score, don't panic. You can retake the Asvab. You'll need to wait 30 days for your first 2 retakes. If you need a 3rd retake, you'll have to wait another 6 months. That wait time is your opportunity to study. Use resources like practice tests to get familiar with the test format and targeted study plans to improve your knowledge. Most importantly, stay consistent. Set a study schedule. Routinely take practice tests to track your progress and refine your timing so you're comfortable with the pace of the actual exam. With the right preparation and a clear plan, you'll be well on your way to achieving the scores you need for the Army role that matches your skills and ambitions. That wraps up the Asvab scores you need for Army jobs. Check out our other videos covering each Asvab subtest and practice problems for each part of the test. Remember, know your goals and prep smartly. That concludes today's episode of U.S. Military Test Prep. Give us a thumbs up if you're feeling more prepared. Leave us a comment with any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, and make sure you're subscribed for more U.S. military test prep content. Stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video. You've got this.